Session of the Board of Education meeting for August. And give me a second here. Dr. Binion unplugged my computer as a joke and slowed it down. We've heard better jokes, but that's okay. All right, if you all would join, we're going to pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, Board, we have an agenda before us. Going to motion to approve?
So moved.
Second. Everybody
Approved. There was a bunch of them. Good luck. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, starting off with recognitions. Dr. Binion.
I am very excited to say we have another award winner, but it's the same person from last year. If you all know Nicole Burley, she's won another award, and we're really excited about it. She is our JAG teacher. Last year, you know that she was the teacher of the year for Southeast Missouri, but she has won another award. Knowing all these incredible updates, she has won the JAG Newcomer of the Year award for Southeast Missouri. So we're really proud of all the work that you're doing there. One of the cool things that I got to see the first day of school is that her room is probably one of the most welcoming rooms I've ever been in, and it's because of you. It really is truly because of you. Even though there was nice furniture and couches and chairs, and they're just kind of hanging out and having conversations, good conversations, it's because of you. So we truly believe in what you're doing, and you know that we're going to continue to support you 100%. Can you come up here, and we want to take a picture with you, if you don't mind. We're super proud of everything that you're doing. We're going to go right here in the front.
I think she might have some impressive statistics.
Oh, excellent. We're going to have you.
I knew better than to think you wouldn't ask me to say something.
Oh, I know. I figured you were coming up.
Sounds great. We're proud.
Oh, wait, one more picture.
Oh, yeah, that's like 4 inches away.
I think the paper got it.
There he
I
is.
think you got it.
You want to talk about someone that wins awards right here.
We want to hear your stats.
That just tells you how hard she works every day.
One of the things I told Dr. Finney when he came by is I said, it really isn't me, it's the kids. And that's truly who makes my job what it is and makes me successful. But there are some performance goals that they want us to do for JAG, for alternative programs, and we kind of blew them out of the water last year, which was awesome. Graduation rate for us was 100% for our seniors, yes, which was awesome.
That's pretty good.
Part-time or full-time employment, we had 85% of our kids who graduated were employed. We had over 85% of our kids who were either enrolled in some kind of a school or also employed. We also had 57% of our kids were doing some kind of a post-secondary credential of some sort as well. We also had 100% connectivity rate, because one of the things we do in JAG is we meet with our kids for 12 months after the program's ended. So they laugh at me because I tell them, I said, you signed this paper at the beginning of JAG and I'm going to hunt you down for the next 12 months after you graduate. But they love it, and they answer me, and we get to know what they're doing for the next year, which is absolutely amazing. And they're excited because we have so many new things coming this year. We're working with the Boy Scouts to do the Explorers program, which is going to be phenomenal. We have some great things coming up. One of them in September, we're going to go downtown and do like a downtown blitz. And thank you to Mr. Jared Ritter, who's going to host us for a little bit. And we're going to be down and visiting with Doc Kane and a couple other groups and having lunch. And then we're going to work with Epic again. We do the Epic Lens. They're going to do also Epic Pals, which is going to be fun because the kids want to work with the animals as well. So just lots of good things. And the kids are super excited, so am I. So,
Awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. Congratulations. All right, next, information, proposals, and comments from the audience. Mr. Payne, do we have any tonight?
No request for this month, sir.
All right, and just as a reminder, requests to get on the agenda or speak to the board are governed through policies BDDH and KC 5 days prior to the meeting to Mr. Payne here at the central office. So we will move on from there to our tax rate hearing. Is that correct? Yep. All right, tax rate hearing is getting which one here. So I guess we'll hand it to Ms. Dudek.
Oh,
You don't have it memorized?
Her computer went dead.
Did you unplug yours too?
Blow it up here.
So tonight, we're going to be setting the tax levy for the district, but we have to have a hearing, a public hearing first. So what you have here is our assessed valuation.
Who wants a microphone?
Yeah, no, just get close to one. This one.
Is this one not working?
Yeah, that's due.
This one's
I'll
done.
talk louder.
Oh.
I promise I'll talk louder. Okay. Okay.
Pull the
So
batteries
we'll
out of the
start with our
car.
assessed valuation, okay? This is our prior year, we're in tax year 25, so you have prior year 24, was 815 million. This is our current assessed valuation for 2025, is 864 million. It's almost a 6% increase. Our assessed valuation went up. This was a reassessment year for us. On non-reassessment years, they just roll the tax books forward, and you only get new construction. In the reassessment year, you get both new reassessments and new construction. We have a little bit over 10 million in new construction this year. We also have the district also as part of the TIF, so we take that off. The money goes back to the districts for the projects to be reinvested back in those projects. So our tax basis is the 864. So we can scroll down a little bit. Okay. So our levy that we are going to be setting tonight for the operating levy will be 3.4920, 0.6647 for debt service, ending in 4.1567. So the 0.6647 for debt service is what's recommended to us by our underwriters for Stifel. We had talked a little bit earlier when we were setting the budget about changing that number. I talked to Lorenzo. And long-term for the district, since we've been doing no tax increase bond issues, we need to leave it the same. So we're not gonna be rolling back on the debt service. So the levy that we are asking for you to approve is this. It will generate $35.9 million of tax revenue. So total new revenue is $1 million, and that's for our incidental fund only, so that's our operating funds. Does anybody have any questions?
No, ma'am.
How long have we held the 4.1567?
20 years,
Long
20 plus
time.
years.
Long time.
And that was part of kind of a promise to the
In
community.
2010,
Yeah.
when we went to the voters with a $40 million bond issue, we promised that we would not raise our tax
Mhm.
levy. So we're rolling it back. So the state, when we submit our assessed valuation, they give us a maximum levy. So our levy could be higher, but we roll it back to keep it at the 4.1567.
Anybody have any other questions or comments?
I will just, this is just
Yeah.
kind of like a
Yes.
side note, so the assessed valuation goes up 6%, that does not mean that your revenue gets to go up 6%. That's not how it equates out. There's, something called the Hancock Amendment that comes into play, and that prevents us from getting the full 6%. It has different limits, levels of limits that you're allowed to increase by.
Thank you, and
Thank
thank
you.
you for the management. Let us keep that promise, so thank you. Exactly. Okay. Up next, Board President's Report. Just had a couple things at the back to school at the high school 2 weeks ago. It was a lot of fun. Thank you for letting us all come eat and have a good time. The Jamboree went really well. It was tremendously well attended. It was surprising how well attended it was. It was exciting. And the Fab 3 thing was that was a lot of fun. That was really cool. And the pictures of Dr. Binion riding the powered tigers around
Yes,
Girardeau
yes.
was a lot of fun. We should bring those here sometime and let everybody get a ride on those things. So, and if you haven't seen it, get on. I don't
I
know,
did
it's on
see it.
YouTube, and I don't know where all it's
Kristen's gonna show
at.
it here in just a minute.
Fantastic.
Or going to
Okay.
talk about it.
Talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully you've already seen it.
Yeah,
Yes,
I did.
hopefully.
So, no, that's all I had. Thank you. And now, Superintendent report.
Excellent. Well, just congratulations to all the students and staff and families just for a great first week of school. We had so much fun going and visiting the buildings. Learned a lot about JAG and what was going on in JAG this year. So congratulations to you, Ms. Burley, as well. You can just see the energy in the buildings when you're going in there. I don't know if it's the parents dropping them off's energy or if it's just the kids ready to be back to school and play with their kids. But we had a lot of fun. I got to ride the old Tiger, so that's always fun to do. I know that Jefferson, I think, has one as well. So it's a great incentive for those kids. Although Dr. Beck's son chased me, wanted to ride the Tiger too, so he's in kindergarten.
He's in first grade this year.
Yeah, oh, first grade, that's right. So I know you guys are familiar with what's going on with the CT Fab 3. I'm going to just kind of turn it over to Ms. Talent. She's going to tell you the reasoning behind that and some other cool things behind the scenes that are going on with that Fab 3.
Yeah, and to clarify for people listening at home, those tigers aren't real tigers. They're stuffed tigers.
Not yet.
No, they're not real tigers. That is correct.
Not yet.
That is correct.
We have
Just want to
goals.
make sure we get that on the record for everyone, yeah.
Just wait till new business.
So yes, our CT Friday Fab 3 is something that's going to be coming to everyone every single week, and it's just a way for us to celebrate some of the awesome things that are going on in our district. And we are really lucky again this year because we have another intern who is a Cape Central graduate who also is sharing the expertise that they've learned thanks to our video production department and program over at the CTC. So Jazz is actually a graduate of that program, and so for the second straight year we've been able to launch something new within the district. Last year our 2 interns helped us start our podcast, so this year we have our intern helping us with this weekly segment. I'm hoping that she'll maybe agree to stay on with us after this semester so we can continue those, or we'll figure it out with another intern. But we're going to be going to all of our schools. We're going to be incorporating not just our students and staff, but also our families too, so they can also present our Fab 3 one Friday, just to get some different faces out there. And we wanted to do it on Fridays because the idea is that as we all kind of go into our various groups that we hang out with through the weekend, that hopefully you see something and that sparks conversation within the community, within your social circles. And then we have the ripple effect where, we just get all of these positive things out in the community about our amazing school. So if you guys have ideas, please send them. We want to highlight everything within our district. So just opening that up to the community, and we're just excited to see where it goes from here. We've already got this week's planned, and we're going to start reporting tomorrow. And I must say, Dr. Binion really set the bar very high because he really had a great, strong camera presence this year. So thank you for that.
What she's telling you, it didn't take me 42 takes.
I did not say that. But you did a great job with the first one.
Jazz is a master at making it look good, that's for sure.
She did a really good job. She brought a lot of great ideas, and we've challenged her to kind of own it and make it her own. So I'm excited to see kind of the way that, she kind of puts her stamp on it as well.
Anything else?
Thank you, Ms. Taylor.
Thank you. Okay, up next, CSIP program evaluations, portrait of a graduate, Learn One. I guess Dr. Beck.
Yeah, thank you. So Learn One Portrait of a Graduate is part of our CSIP. This is going on 3 years since adoption. It's been multi-year phase planning with Portrait of a Graduate. It consisted of building a committee of district leadership to even talk about what that would look like for our graduates, because Portrait of a Graduate really is the umbrella that encompasses all students K-12. It affects everybody from kindergarten to middle school, junior high, high school. After several committee meetings, they focused on 5 essential skill competencies that relate to students: communication, collaboration, critical thinking, adaptability, and being a responsible citizen. Beyond that, we actually came up with skill standard breakdowns for each grade level that relate to that skill component and what that should look like in the K-6 setting or 7-12 setting. Some of these things are just links that are embedded in this because it's such a large working document. So I'm not going to read through all of it. Like I said, it affects all students K-12. Academic services budget alone that encompasses Portrait of a Graduate's $1.4 million for the previous year. Our target, obviously, is to offer various learning opportunities that promote each of those essential skill traits defined in the focus areas. And then key metrics long-term of this would be our state-level academic performance on MAP and EOC, district benchmarks like Galileo across all grade levels, behavioral and attendance data, state assessments, and then college career readiness report data. The quick summary without getting too far into the weeds, the 23-24 program, that's where the leadership team researched and engaged in the discussions that led to those 5 essential skill competencies, and then the Portrait of a Graduate skills breakdown. So it gives teachers a clear understanding of what it is we're looking to master as the standard. Moving into 24-25, we actually provided K-6, 7-12 resource guides for each of our teachers, and then we started reporting through Infinite Campus. Total for this year was we had 21,952 measures against those standards when you're looking at all students, all competencies. So it's either pre to post assessment or both, anytime they're touching one of those competency measures. The data indicated Central High and Central Academy exhibit notable strengths in communication, working in diverse environments, possess strong critical thinking skills. Terry W. Kitchen demonstrated a high degree of character as it relates to citizenship. We were not able to track in this current year all of our elementary metrics. That's going to be the big focus moving into next year, is it will truly encompass K-12, and there will be consistent reporting across all of our grade cards that are coming out at every level. That looks different in elementary because there's lots of standards-based grading. At the secondary level, not so much. So it's either reported as a standards-based assessment grade or a comment at the secondary level. Overall, I've included our district APR summary from the previous year. We talk about that in another program report alone, so I'm not going to recap all that. But the district APR shows that we have success-ready students that are getting advanced credits. Our graduation rates are growing, continuous improvement plans. We've got a lot of strong areas. Academic achievement for ELA and math and science for all the students group was falling between 25 and 50. So once again, the data highlights the importance of maintaining a focus on academic growth and achievement moving forward, which aligns with our goals for Portrait of a Graduate and our CSIP as a whole. I gave this a rating as average because there's always room to get better. And we are not truly assessing all those elementary students yet. So that will be our next big phase moving into the rest of the current school year. Happy to answer any questions or inquiries you may have about that. I know it's a lot of information.
I have a question. For that list of skills the Portrait of a Graduate has, are the data that you're taking, is that meant for like the district perspective to know how your students are doing and track, or is that meant, and maybe it's both of these things, for the parent perspective, for them to be able to like read through and see how their student is doing?
So it's a little bit of both.
Okay.
So these are all the educational experts getting put into one room, right? So district leadership and saying K-6 and 7-12, regardless of grade level, these are the skills you have to possess to become the graduate of the district we want to see walking out of our doors, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that communication, responsible citizenship, all those things, those were the 5 core competencies that everybody could agree on between every level. But then how you assess that looks different, right?
Sure.
At a second grade level versus
Yep.
a 10th grade level.
Right.
So that was getting down detailed enough to have standards that were being assessed that align with the curriculum that's already in place as it relates to content. So like ELA for communication, or vice versa, depending on the course. And then what Tina and Nick Cato do is they provide rubrics to measure against that.
Yeah.
So it's showing you, is your student already meeting this expectation, or have they demonstrated growth, or is this an area working into the next grade that they should be looking for improvement?
Yep. My thought
from the parent perspective, is these have started showing up, I guess it was last year, maybe correct me if I'm wrong, for my junior high student in particular. Since it's parent facing, I think it would be nice to have some communication of like, this is what this is. I was somewhat familiar just because I'm on the board and so we talk about this portrait of a graduate a lot. But I don't know, otherwise I would have understood this like 2-sentence blip that says met or whatever, where it was coming from, you know what I mean? And so I think it would be nice to see like more of a bird's eye view. This is our overall goal, and so these are the metrics we're trying to make sure your student is meeting. This is where this is geared to.
No, I think
That
that's a
makes
great
sense.
idea, just front-loading the information
Yeah.
to parents, so they have a better understanding. And it looks different, like if you have a student at the elementary and secondary level,
Right, of course.
when you get the report card, they look
They do.
completely different.
Yes, it's much more simplified, at least what I've seen so far at the elementary level, than it is this longer version that I'm seeing for my junior high student, so, yeah.
To add to this with curriculum, as we're going through and we just finished, what was it? Social studies this last year, foreign language, this exactly last year, and then science moving forward, we're also aligning assignments and lessons and units along with this. So like, what portrait of a graduate skills are we talking about? Are we building toward in this? And so that's starting last year and then the last couple of cycles and then moving forward. So.
Any other questions?
Don't believe so.
Hey, I'm sorry, just before we move on, we actually had a quick piece
Yeah.
for Jane to talk about.
I was gonna ask that real
See
quick,
it.
see what that was. It's like you got a pretty
retention
a chart there, we wanted to look at.
It's a good chart to see the success.
You guys know how much I like making charts.
We weren't gonna skip it.
Don't skip it, don't skip it. You worked hard on this one.
And really, what I really love about this chart is a celebration of what the high school's been working hard at. And that is to focus on our freshmen, focus on surrounding them and giving them all the resources that they need to be able to be successful. And so this is a year-over-year report. We gave this report first last year, and so this is just an update on where we're at from that data. That just shows that over the last 3 years, we've cut in half our freshman retention. So that means freshmen
Can
who
you
are.
explain what the?
Yeah. So
To me, retention should be going up, not
They don't
down.
get
So
the
I was
credit.
Yes.
confused when I
So
looked at
retention is
this.
they're being retained
Retained back.
in
Yeah.
that grade
Same
level.
grade.
That's a good thing.
No,
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 no.
that's-
Oh,
They want to get their credit, they want
They're
the
Got
family
it.
credit.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought retention meant they were staying within our district.
Oh,
No.
there's that retained as well.
Okay.
This
This is
no, this
why
is-
I'm confused.
Not
No,
for this one.
we want them to matriculate onto the next grade.
Got it, okay.
And these are the kids who aren't, but that is
Full loss.
that is less than half. And
Okay,
so,
great.
kudos to the high school and their teams that are just surrounding kids and making sure that they're getting those supports.
And
So-
Coach, I love to put people on the spot, so I'll just ask you because you're sitting out there. The big question we get, and we're not the ones in the school, obviously, so has eliminating cell phones had any part in this?
I think it's been great, yeah.
So you think Yonder's probably played a big role in
I
that?
think there's a direct correlation to that and a lot of other positive things too.
Awesome.
I have another question. This is not a question that I have personally. It's just when this topic comes up, something I hear people say is, well, yeah, they're passing kids on because they're lowering the standards, essentially. They're just making it easier, and that's why this number looks so good. So what do you have to say to that
Yeah, I mean,
comment?
you can ask our math teachers if they feel like that we're
Yeah.
decreasing the expectations, and they can tell you that that's probably not the case. So, definitely not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would just ask the math teachers, they'll tell you the opposite, so.
And
The
so the
rigor is,
criteria,
always there.
Yeah.
Yeah, for us.
so the criteria for being retained, like and staying in one class, it's because you didn't achieve enough total credit hours to move forward. So you got, you failed X number of classes total out of
You have to
7 or
get-
8.
So you have to be hitting 6 or more rolling year to year, 6, 12, 18, 24 for graduation, to stay on track with your cohort. When you pull in less credits than that, you're automatically reclassified as same grade level retained.
Which would be 2 or more classes failing, generally speaking?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they have an opportunity to get seven per year right now at the high school, and they only have to hit 6. So then if you fall below 6, you would be looking at being retained.
Thank you.
It's an important graph. Glad we put it there.
Spent a lot of time talking about it.
Especially now that retention is
Yeah,
not
that we know
the
what
knowledge
retention
retention. All right, thank you guys very much. Youth sports, Elevate 5.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Hyson, do you want to sit here because there's not,
He
there's no
can
microphone?
pretend.
Come on.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
does.
Yeah. Actually, just
Chat you
stand.
guys beside each other.
Or you could do like Lindsay and say you're gonna talk really loud, but not talk loud enough for the mic to pick you up. And the AV guy's gonna get on your case.
Just the contrast. I think.
Well, good evening. Brian posted this to the board agenda today, so I won't read directly off of it, but Elevate 5, that's my, what Mandy calls, I'm the champion of Elevate 5. So monitor and support new youth athletic programs, and this, that's a M6 EA4. The superintendent designee will continue to increase participation in the new youth athletic program, that's me. And then you have the action steps there, that how we are going about doing that. When we wrote this step, or these steps, how we're going about doing that. So the strengths of the program data there. Numbers wise, again, I pulled this from our Final Form, previous platform. Final Forms are numbers at each school. As you can see, those have gone up for each of those. And, you know, I'm always pushing for that 1,000 number, and we got it this year. Now, again, this is individual kids in that school, at least one sport, right? So a lot of those kids could be participating in multiple sports. But this is those are the numbers that they're from those grades 1 through 6. Now, I will say we're fully implemented, which helps the numbers, right? So I'm not going to sit here and give you a number and tell you, well, it's because we did all these things. It's because last year was the first year we were fully implemented 1 through 6 on all of the sports that we currently are a part of, right? So then, if you go to the back page, or, well, it's my back page, it shows the breakdown of sports by school, okay? Our sports across those schools and where they're going, where they've gone. Again, flag football, cross country, and volleyball, I'm not trying to pull the wool over your eyes, we've added 1st and 2nd grade there, right? So that's why the increase of numbers for those. All right, and then boys basketball, those increases that have come. We did go down in soccer and track and field, but we're still above year 1 numbers in those, right? So that's shown the increase, and then the total increase from 1165 to 1273, so almost a 10% increase of participation. We're going to level off, right? I mean, it's great to show progress, but we're getting close to a peak, and we're still going to see some of these waves, I'm sure, depending on classes. I know our 6th grade class right now, for example, a lot of those, especially girls, are participate in our programs, a ton of them. So when they go into 7th grade, we won't see those kids anymore, right? So you will see some of those as we go along, but I do think that we'll start to level off. The next things there, our coaching staff numbers were enhanced. Again, career ladders helped retain good coaches, because we have the opportunity to pay those people for volunteering their time. That's helped us out with coaches. Grade levels, again, were expanded this past year to include 1st and 2nd grade for volleyball, football, and flag football and cross country. Our district coaching staffs, this is probably the thing I'm the proudest of our coaches, our high school coaches, is that we have increased the number of camps and youth-led activities exponentially. I keep a spreadsheet that I share with the administrators and all of us at admin. They'll see it at every one of our admin council. This is upcoming events. The number of events we have this year compared to the years past, it has just grown a lot over the course, and we're still adding. All right, we had our first this summer. We had our first junior high. They're calling them kick-arounds, where they'll bring the junior high kids out to play soccer, since we don't have a dedicated junior high soccer program on Wednesday nights. both coaches, the whole coaching staff brought them out, did those. We had our first youth soccer camp at the end of the summer, softball camps, our football camp we have in May. So they continue. Coach Frazier will do his boys basketball camp that'll span 6 Tuesdays in the fall. So adding those camps has been an important part of increasing the opportunities for our youth. We have addressed some talent disparity in our leagues with Cape Parks and Rec. We had some areas, especially when we first started, these kids hadn't had any access, so we were behind. Over the course of those last few years, Cape Parks and Rec has worked with us in each, depending on the sport, where we could have our own division, essentially. So we're not, and we still work on those season by season if we have enough teams. So just for example, if we have 9 teams, it's easy for Cape Parks and Rec to say, hey, everybody's gonna play each other once and play 8 games, right? If we have 5 teams and they've got 5 teams, okay, we can play each other twice, they can play each other twice, and but there's still, that way we still control who we're playing. If, depending on the number of teams in those divisions, we can have some crossover, so it just, and they're great about working with us on doing those things to try to keep that disparity at bay. We added Special Olympics track and field teams grades 3 through 6 this year. We had 9 kids that participated in the Special Olympics. I talked about that back in April and May. We're looking to expand those programs as well. Our concerns, obviously finding qualified coaches is and always will be the challenge. I'm currently still finding much better. Last year at this time, we had 3 coaches that had volunteered to coach flag football for 18 flag football teams. I currently only need 3 coaches for 16 flag football teams. So as we continue to grow those, more people get involved and they stay involved. I've got one lady who's coaching 4 volleyball teams this fall. So that's great, people that are stepping up and doing those things. Maintaining momentum and positive outcomes, eliminating barriers to participation, those things, those other barriers, equipment, things like that. We do a great job as a district making sure we take care of those those people. And convincing non-participating families. In some respects, guys, some people just aren't going to do it. Either they're not going to get involved, or they don't see the value of it, and they're doing other things that they want to do with their family. Hey, have at it. These are for those that can't or want to be a part of our program. The last one is the absence of program designed for students with disabilities. We're trying to address that, and we have a plan for that, and it's linked. You got to go to your thing. The plan that Mandy and I developed to support and do this, just like we've done our youth sports programs, is a part of that. Identify ways to expand a program include sports, swim, dive, tennis, golf, and wrestling. That's still, we're in constant connection with the city about how we do those. They're just not as easy, right? To do some of those sports the way they currently do them with our students. So we're still trying to figure that out. Expand programming through Special Olympics to increase participation for students with disabilities. In our plan, we're planning on adding basketball, but of course you got to have the numbers to play basketball, right? And then adding grade levels 7th and 8th to our track and field numbers for this year. Target accessible coaches early and provide them with adequate training through our CGPS staff. One of the things this Thursday, Coach Purdue, when we meet with our volleyball coaches that are coaching, she's actually going to run a short coaches clinic with those coaches. Coach Purdue is also doing that for girls basketball. Coach Frazier is going to do that for boys basketball. So teaching those people, hey, this is what you can do. These coaches can learn from them, and do it with our high school kids being involved. I'd say overall we're above average, but as always, there's room for improvement, and we're trying to continue to do that, move in a positive direction. We got a willing, committed partner in Cape Parks and Rec. And a couple of things that's not in this particular thing. Our PE teachers at the elementary level and middle school level are doing a fantastic job of the basic skills and intramural part that we don't normally talk about in this report. But they're awesome. I mean, I meet with them at the beginning of the year. We make tweaks, we change things. Hey, we need to run this at this time. Hey, can you help us out with some equipment, so forth and so on. They've been really good. So kudos to them. Any questions for me?
So I'll just give one quick shout out. So I want to say thank you to the coaches who do this, especially on a volunteer basis, and then our coaches from the high school and the junior high and places that are helping kind of help people understand how to coach better. But the one sentence in here that I want to always bring us back to is the one in your goal that says research shows that participation in education education-based athletics improves academic performance, promotes good citizenship skills, elevates attendance, and reduces negative behaviors, because like, we're probably not building the next generation of NBA superstars, but hopefully we're building good people who turn into good adults and kind of are leaders in our community. And so, amen to all the stuff you guys and your team are
You
doing.
bring it up every year, I'm so glad you do. That's just part of what, I think it's one of those things that I maybe don't think about as much, because that's what I do in day in, day. We do day in, day out as athletes. And
Sure.
As coaches, it's like, that's what our goal is.
Right.
I mean, I've talked to several coaches, our high school coaches about, hey, we're here to make better people. We're not, so that's the goal, and I appreciate you bringing that up.
And I love sports as much as the next guy, but we're making great people, which is even better.
Yes.
I don't love sports, and I love that we do this. So I'm dead serious. It is so important, and I love that we have this program.
Point out I failed
The hardest thing to do, I think, from what that point is extrapolating data that's on behavior attendance. But I'm telling you, the principals that call me and say, hey, I had X, Y, Z in the hall today, and I said, are you playing sports? Yep. Do you want to continue to play sports? And that kid acts better because of that, just for that one interaction.
Yeah.
And again, that's where our PE teachers come in too. They do a really good job of using those, that carrot instead of having to always use the stick.
Yep.
Right.
So like way back 3-4 years ago, when we kind of started down this journey based upon that goal statement, one of the metrics that you'd had was at the high school level, or it might have been district, I forgot what it was, but it was the overall participation. And it was, I don't remember, 20s, 59, I don't remember, it was 20s.
Our participation rate at the start
and
was
it's like,
around 27%.
so like longitudinally, I mean, it's going to take time to get it bought in, but as we see that, as they get towards the end, as we track that too, to see, and whatever it is, I mean, there's gobs of clubs
I
and
looked
things.
at the high school data for Final Forms, and we're at about 830 that are involved in something. Now, that includes band.
Everything.
activities, everything that we do through Misha, which is about
830.
300 over what we were when we started this. Now, I won't say that that's all, of course it is part of it. We are, as Lindsay can tell you, one of our issues now is we've built this, hey, look, we're gonna participate, let's go, and then we get the junior high and go, okay, we got a pipe, right? So we're looking at ways to expand our team sizes at the junior high level, and her and I worked on that to make sure that, and Coach Connor has done a great job of trying to find opportunities for those people that way we're not cutting as many kids. Here we are, we want you to participate, and then we say, well, but the team can only have 10 7th graders and 10 8th graders, right? So that's a little bit more negative. We gotta continue that participation, because we don't know when a 7th grade kid that hasn't grown yet will still be able to participate in high school. And it means
And
something
sometimes it can just be for fun. Honestly, this is one of the things I don't like about sports, is I'm not into the competition. But like, I really
Everybody
don't.
a trophy.
I just like that you're creating a program where kids can just come and have fun. Like, it can just be because you like hanging out with your friends, and it gets you engaged in the whole district. And I think there's so many other important pieces to it. Like, it's okay to have kids who just want to do it because they're just enjoying the process, not because they're getting a scholarship or
We
whatever.
try to push that as hard as we can to our youth coach. I mean, these aren't professional coaches, but when they come in, it's like, hey, remember, they're here to have a good time. This isn't about winning the trophy at the end of the day.
Crystal, I think what Tyson was getting at was Michael Jordan got cut as a freshman in high school, and we don't want to have that happen to us. So, one more year, we have. You're missing the entire point.
Sorry.
Thanks,
Kumbaya.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Hey Tyson, since
we
we're
all slept
talking
well.
about good back-to-school news, can you share, since we've got a champion in the room, what you ended our back-to-school admin meeting with the champion relay?
that's true.
2009 Class 1 4x2. Actually, he gave me the video.
That's
We
awesome.
talked about teamwork.
Sorry you guys had to watch that.
We enjoyed it. We watched it multiple times.
We just watched the first 3 legs, we didn't watch the
Well, we were ahead by then. Coasting.
That guy ran the third leg on that championship squad, ran the leg of his life. I'll tell you that, but it was fun
We're
to
gonna
use
go out
that.
to Lou Maybe and recreate it right now.
I might make it 50.
Oh, man.
All right, well, thank you very much. Oh, yeah, academic services report. Hopefully this is just as exciting.
Very short, it was my other report, so you're good to go.
Okay, cool. Thank you, thank you. Community Teachers Association report. We're excited.
Oh, it's
New blood.
This is gonna be good.
Wherever you would like.
Social table.
Well, good evening. I'm Shannon Berghoff. I'm our CTA president this year. And I have 5 pages of shout outs from 2 weeks of school with teachers, which is fantastic. I'm going to go fast. So if you need me to slow down, just like give me the motion. So in Alma Schroeder, thank you to Miss Cook and Miss May for being part of the painting crew this summer and making several of our classrooms look fresh and bright. A big thank you as well to Miss Jeannie and Mr. Allen for all their hard work in getting Sweet Home Alma Schroeder ready for the new school year. Finally, a huge shout out to our entire faculty and staff for what was probably the best and smoothest start to a school year. From Blanchard, wow, our paras are top notch. I'm grateful for them. Our new staff members are rocking their new gig. They are organized, caring, eager to learn, and kind. Our staff handled losing power the first day of school like it was just a normal day. People pitched in to calm worries, bring lights, assist with dismissal, and all the little things in between. We are flexible, creative, and overcomers. Our math scores are a representation of the continued high expectations being set and goals being smashed. From CAO, a huge thank you to Jamie Russell for your incredible support for our esports vision. Your dedication to unifying our program from 7th through 12th grade is helping build something truly special. A connected, competitive, and inclusive experience for all our student gamers. Thank you to Tina Schusler for having Super Kids online ready before the first day of school. Rhonda's worked so hard helping ECC with the new cafeteria. Thank you for all of your help. From Central Academy, this being the first week was challenging for all, so a shout out to all staff at CA for being flexible, creative, patient, and welcoming to new and returning students. Clifford, a shout out for all staff. Everyone is doing a great job during the first week of school. The custodians are amazing because the building looks fabulous. Thank you for your hard work this summer. The office staff is handling everything that is thrown to them with a grace and ease that is amazing. From the CTC, Alex Kern has been amazing for helping us with all of our tech. He's always very helpful, informative, and timely. Shout out to our administrative assistants in the front desk for keeping us informed and on track. Our custodial team has done an amazing job of getting all 4 of the buildings on our campus cleaned, waxed, and painted over the summer, all while being short 2 custodians. Our admin team is on top of everything and helping new staff get acclimated and ready to begin instruction. We couldn't ask for better leaders. A big thanks to Emily Elliott. She is always ready and willing to help staff and students with their technology needs. We could not have started this year without her tireless efforts. She also teaches ELA for all the seniors at the CTC. That's hundreds of students. And organizes mock interviews where students are interviewed by real employers in their industry. And then there's just a finger pointing up to that one to be like ditto. Early Childhood Center. Arrival and dismissal teams are working hard. They have the routines down in their new building, and the car line is moving faster than ever. Nurse Jenny has been our allergy hero. With having several students who have food allergies, Nurse Jenny has been diligent about sharing this information with staff in the cafeteria. Megan Flowers has been very helpful in getting the new building set up. Sarah Wasson has started collaborative teams to better implement the new curriculum. All staff has been energized about our new Tiny Tigers. We have new faces, a new building, and a new curriculum, and they all are smiling and positive. From Franklin, shout out to all our teachers and staff at Franklin for being amazing additions and having a positive mindset for starting the year. Franklin's special education teachers and teacher assistants have been rock stars this week. We are so grateful for their energy, flexibility, and the care they have for our students. Big shout out to our kindergarten teachers who are always eager to welcome new Tigers with enthusiasm and love each year. They set our kids up for success from day one. From the high school, administrators have been beyond helpful and visible since the first day of school. They are seen talking to staff, helping students, and making sure everyone is starting the year off on the best foot. I am thankful to be at this school that really feels like family. A big shout out to Miss Staple, who during PD had the most inspirational presentation to date. Her love for students, her belief in their potential, even when their kid may not see it himself, is infectious. As a teacher, I felt fired up to go change the world. Bravo. From Jefferson, Ms. Walker and Ms. Graham have been so supportive and helpful, helping with duties, making sure students get where they need to be, listening to concerns, and leading us well. We are blessed. Ms. Diamond for going above and beyond to help where she is needed. Thank you to our custodians for making sure our building is sparkling. Our pre-K team has been amazing, helping each other with anything that needs to be done. Ms. Roan moved grade levels this year before school started for the second year in a row, helping her staff get acclimated and getting ready. Wait, no. She is a rock star. Sorry, from the junior high, a big thank you to our special education teachers and TAs for being so helpful, flexible, and student-focused during the first week back. Piggybacking off that, Sydney Fleming has done phenomenal with our functional classroom to begin the year. Coach Campos is doing a fabulous job with adaptive PE. Shout out to Corey Chunning for doing a great job with PD schedules and agendas. Thank you to Miss Natalie Rice for making sure that all of our TAs are prepared every day. And from the middle school, Ms. Crowder has been a wonderful addition to the 6th grade team. She is great with her students and coworkers, and we are loving the vibe she brings. Ms. Moore has done an amazing job practicing expectations with her students. They are displaying wonderful class and hallway behavior and setting a positive example for other classes at CMS. Hannah Macon continues to be an asset to CMS. She takes every role and task seriously but kindly and can be counted on to be present and engaged. Tiffany Mead and Bertha King are rock stars in the cafeteria. Becky Wright and Travis Wilson are working hard to set expectations and keeping it positive for all of our students, faculty, and staff. Thank you.
We gotta give you more assignments. You're like a female Ron Burgundy, reporting live from Cape Girardeau. Oh my gosh.
Well, welcome. Thank you.
Good job. She did a great job.
Okay, well, thank you again. Treasurer Finance Report. Ms. Duday.
If you notice, this is a little bit different than the one I normally report on, because this is normally year-to-date, so since it's July, I can report on this one, the only time throughout the year.
That's fantastic.
So, same report, we'll break it out by funds. Our ending fund balances from last year roll over to this year, so our general fund is starting with $22.2 million. We received $1.1 million in revenues, and our expenses were actually a little bit less than our revenues, $1.1 million. In July, we did payroll, only have payroll for our 11 to 12-month staff, so it's less than normal, which is why our teachers fund actually has an ending fund balance this month of $782,000. For August, that will go away and we'll start transferring monthly like we usually do. But ending our general fund with a fund balance of $22.2 million. The other report gives the details of what makes up the expenses and revenues, if you are interested in looking at that. Does anyone have any questions?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, up next, I'm just kidding, Sports Services Report.
We started the school year with Crispitos on our menu last Tuesday. Students were happy to get those. Nice. You'll see the bus routes in front of you here a little bit later on. And just speaking about that for a little bit, since it's in the consent agenda, those are adapted to change just a little bit every now and then. We're still tweaking those out. What really is hurting with us with those are water main breaks and road construction right now, where some of those stops are constantly being changed throughout the day. So the stop may be in one place in the morning, and then we try to do our best to communicate as we get that information from the city, communicate that out, social media, rooms, all sorts of different platforms that we're utilizing as well. Going back to the shout outs, our maintenance custodial staff did a tremendous amount of work over the summer. We're currently in the mode of not having any new construction projects right now. So we're going back and catching a backlog of a lot of different work orders that we have and getting caught up. We are also, pretty much all districts are fully trained on our back to school processes. Schools will be going through a multitude of drills by the end of this week. They started last week, and we'll finish up a lot of their drills next week. And those will be ongoing throughout the school year. So other than that, everything is going great, unless you have questions, concerns, or comments.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Okay, up next, board reports. We'll start off with the MSBA delegate report.
The only thing I have is regional meetings are happening in September, and I think ours is the 24th at Farmington. So we'll probably, if we haven't already gotten an email about that, we will be getting one soon, asking who's going to attend.
I think I came today, maybe.
Might have, yeah. Just watch your MSBA emails. If you can make it, it'd be great. Okay, thank you very much. Legislative report?
We mostly already talked about the big thing, which is SB3. I was going to add, just like kind of a zoomed out perspective is there is just a general push to move away from property taxes and move toward sales tax. The reason that's problematic for us specifically is because there is not a mechanism for school districts to implement a sales tax. We are not allowed to do that. So if you lose your property tax, which for us fluctuates year to year, but around 50% of our revenue. If you remove that revenue, we don't have a way to make that up in another way. We can't just start charging a sales tax and making up that income that we're getting. So that's why these legislative moves are so concerning to us, because it would have a huge impact that we can't fix, essentially. One thing that is important to me, kind of as the legislative representative, is I've really been trying to connect with our legislative reps as much as I can, our House representative and our senator, just making sure he knows who we are, talking to them as much as I can about what our district is doing and why XYZ legislative move is important to us or that we're against it. I really try to maintain that line of communication just as often as I can. I have been nicely bugging them for the last 6 months to please come to our district and tour. I really, really want them to see, just get their own eyes on all the amazing things we do. There's always some new thing that, recently it was the welding facility or like the new early education where the early education students are now. We invest so much into our students. It is so important to our community, and I really want them to see that with their own eyes. Like when you're making these decisions, when you're placing these votes, like these are, let me put the child in front of you that you are affecting kind of thing. So I've, like I said, been kindly bugging them, and Senator Berger is actually coming. He finally called me this morning, and he's coming tomorrow to tour. So Dr. Binion, I don't know if you're coming, Dr. Beck. I said something to Dr. Binion to you.
I may have Mandy.
Oh, okay, great. So he's going to come and tour the welding facility, and so I'm really excited about that. Not that I think one tour is going to forever change the way he votes or whatever, but just continuing to make those connections with him and talk to him and, just get him engaged in our specific district. So that's it. That's all I got.
Thank you very much.
I ran into Jamie today.
He told me.
And he
Yep.
mentioned that you guys have been in constant communication, so I was excited to hear that. And he was also excited to
He
come.
mentioned that Crystal bugs me constantly.
He had nothing but positive things to say,
Yeah.
so I thought it was great.
Well, thank you very much.
Yep.
Okay. Cape Public School Foundation.
I will do that one. The foundation was able to help the district purchase school supplies for about 500 families. And then the only other thing is a reminder about the Penguin Party. It's our 20th celebration, February 14th.
Valentine's Day.
Date night.
The band is the Remedies out of Nashville, so it's supposed to be a pretty good rockin' time. Tickets, tables, and sponsorship will be on sale soon.
I just really quick did the math. 500 families that's more than 10% of our student population. Like that's huge. That's awesome.
Yeah, the foundation.
Yeah.
And that was due to community businesses
Absolutely.
and individuals that donated funds directly to the foundation, and then the foundation covered any additional costs that were not raised through businesses in the community as well.
What a difference to how a student starts their year.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much. Okay, moving on, approval of consent agenda items. So again, these were out there. We had minutes from July 21st, 2025, regular meeting of the Board of Education, payment of bills, adult meal prices, bus routes for the 25-26 school year. Can we get a motion for those?
So moved.
Second.
Second, okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, those are carried. So, let me get my mouse to work here. There we go. Okay, up next is business. So up first, we've got a recommendation to approve the 25-26 out-of-district tuition for elementary and secondary students at a rate of $11,500. We get a motion for that?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any discussions on that one?
I can just kind of elaborate a
Yes.
little bit on that. So every year, we set the out-of-district tuition, and consistently, we've been raising it $500 every year. So this would apply to students who don't live in our district but attend. So if their parent owns a business and pays property taxes to the district, they can choose to attend here and be tuition paid. And then also it is for students who attend the surrounding K-8 districts, and they would choose to go here for the high school. So we actually would bill the school for the tuition.
Anybody have any questions or comments on that?
One clarification, remind me, is there another one other than
Yeah.
Holcomb, or is
So
that?
it's now Holcomb, sometimes Kelso.
Okay.
We build that district.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know how that worked.
It's all about where you pay your taxes.
Yeah.
So the people who live in Holcomb, they're paying their taxes.
Yep,
The school is getting the tax money, so we are billing the school.
Okay.
For the students that attend here. So last year, we had 27 students
Sure.
from Holcomb attend, and we do not have any parent paid students.
Any other questions? Okay, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Nope. Okay, so the motion to approve the 25-26 out-of-district tuition at 11.5 carries. Up next, approval of the tax rate that we discussed a little while earlier. So the recommendation is to set the 25 property tax rate per $100 as follows: incidental fund 3.492, teachers fund 0, debt service fund 0.6647, capital project fund 0, for the total levy of 4.1567, so no change. Can we get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, discussion on this. Ms. Dudek kind of went through it earlier, but any other questions or comments?
You know, when we set the levy, we're always going to have, because we have bonds, we are always going to have a debt service levy. As soon as we issue bonds, we are saying that we are committed to paying those back, so that we will always have that. We do not have a capital projects fund levy this year. We moved that back to the incidental fund, which will cover our main operations. And then teachers fund and capital projects fund, we utilize transfers to get funds there if we need them. So this will generate for our operating revenue a little over $1 million of an increase.
One question, Lindsay, I was gonna ask this earlier, but then I decided not to. The debt service fund, obviously, we're saying, like, our folks from, our bond issuing folks are saying, they're recommending what that number be.
Sure.
Does it normally operate in a certain range, like high or low? Like, it's gone up a little bit now based on what it was previously, right?
So 0.6647 has been their kind of set
Oh.
number for us. It's where they feel comfortable that we can continue to issue bonds at a no tax increase. We have 100% fund balances in our debt service fund. We're allowed to have that. You're allowed to have up to 100%. So having the levy set here keeps us at 100% fund balances.
Okay.
And
So
that's
if
usually
something
how they
terrible happened, we
adjust
would
it.
have enough money to pay.
Yeah.
Then they could adjust it.
Bond payments for
You just
another
take
year.
less out of the incidental. Or put more of incidental.
So incidental,
You've accrued for it.
they do fluctuate, because we roll our levy back every year, but when you roll it back in an even number year, you cannot recoup it the following year. So you can only do that in your odd number of years. So we do change between the incidental and debt service depending on that, because we don't want to we don't want to roll back the operating funds for 2 years. We don't want to be committed to that. Financially, it's hard on us. And our debt service balances are good enough that we can, because they're 100%, we have enough money in there that we can change that levy a little bit.
That's what explains though, like when it says .5848 and now .6647.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I was trying to ask.
So last year, I didn't want to commit to rolling the operating levy back for 2 years. So I rolled back the debt service.
Sure.
Because debt service, it doesn't apply to debt service.
Cool. Thank you for the clarification.
Other questions, comments? Okay, please, if you're in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, any opposed? No. Okay, the property tax rate per $100 for 2025 carries as displayed up there with all those numbers. Okay, and next up, adoption of board policies. So some legislative changes. These are board policies that will reflect those changes and get us up to speed. So the recommendation is to adopt the following board policies as recommended by MSBA and the Policy Review Committee. BBA 1, board member qualifications. If you plan on running again, make sure you read that one. Policy IGBI, homeschooling and other educational opportunities, I believe. Policy IGCD, virtual courses. Policy IGCDA, full-time MOCAP virtual courses. Policy IGD, district-sponsored extracurricular. Policy IGDAA, resident participant students. Policy JFCD, student use of personal communication devices. Regulation JGR2, student discipline. So can we get a motion for those?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Any discussions or comments on those?
I'll jump in. This policy update, as you mentioned earlier, the primary purpose is just MSBA's recommending the immediate updates because the law goes into effect August 28th. So this gets you in compliance as a school district with a lot of things passed in Senate Bill 63, like a variety of legislative items coming. Mr. Moyers is still here. He's gotten lots of guidance from MISHA regarding non-traditional student participation and participation of homeschool FPE students. We talked a little bit about that at our last meeting. He's been getting a couple updates. Do you want to share those?
Yeah, well, actually, right before this meeting, we got the ballot. We had a special ballot for MISHA to accept the changes to the handbook, MISHA handbook, and board policies. Their board meeting was yesterday. Today. Their board meeting was today. They sent the policies in. So all it was is for us to vote for it, for us to stay in compliance with state law, right? Similar to what we're doing here with these board policy updates. So that's been done. That's been changed in the handbook. All those things. Now, for us, we still have, like MSBA sent us some, basically like forms that, well, they are forms, for those things that we need from the families. Basically verifying that they are enrolled in 6 credits and that they are passing those 6 credits. Either have or will, depending on where we're at in the semester. We'll do that great, just like we do grade checks for those students. So no more other updates than that. With the constant questions about, I know some of the stuff that's with CTC, but also for us, for specific clubs. For example, Russell had sent me an email about Beta Club has national and state constitution bylaws that say you have to be X, Y, Z, but our state law says that we have to allow those students in for Beta Club. And the reason why it says in their bylaws is that the principal decides. So the principal, by state law, has to allow those students to be in those clubs. So it's different for and we're going to navigate through each one.
I mean, as Tyson mentioned, that's a total different road. We're waiting to get guidance from legal counsel regarding Career and Technical Center because we have sending schools, sending kids in that are paying tuition to be in those seats for those programs that are also involved in some of those co-curricular, extracurricular activities. So we've gotten 0 guidance on that so far. So
Don't look at me.
we're patiently waiting for updates as of now, but as soon as we get more information, we'll share it. And then a couple other policy updates in here, JGR2, and then JFCD, all are in regard to student cell phone usage, which we were already in compliance with technically. but we did have to revise our language to the exceptions portion specifically to make sure the language is correct with the new state law.
Any other questions on those? All right, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, those board policies are updated. And last up, information and proposals from board members. Do we have any? Okay, can we get a motion then to adjourn?
I do have one question.
Yes, sir.
Former PE students, obviously I failed Crystal.
I passed.
I played sports in high school.
Jared, is there one sport, one game that you were exposed to that has been a lifelong factor to you, and you've always been able to go back and like pull that out of your
Don't
bag
say
of
it,
tricks?
Jared.
And use it.
And use
And
it,
even been
yes.
given
And
permission
pass it
to,
on.
given permission to rename it.
Yes.
Crowd ball was used at the FCA camp, and I was given permission to call it Ritter ball. And I did. I did.
Outstanding. Outstanding.
We need to make sure that makes it in the minutes. 'Cause
Yeah.
Those were
I
actions,
vote for an
not
adult
discussions.
version of the parachute.
Crystal, that's my favorite.
Is that why you failed? Couldn't get under. Couldn't get under.
No, she got stuck underneath it, so.
Popcorn was just too fast.
Oh, cool. All right, motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you guys very much.
Appreciate it.